Okay, so this is going to be my personal top 5 11 frame punishes from Crouch. And so we are going to be using Leo as an example. If you didn't know, Leo has this 2 back 1+2 heat engager mid, and it leaves you plus 11 in Crouch. So this is exactly the time you would want to use these punishes we're going to talk about. And I really like to have a good 11 frame punish just because there are a lot of lows that are, either minus 11 or minus 12, and I'm not very consistent with low parrying. I don't do that frequently, and you don't always want to risk a hop kick. So yeah, and to start us off, Jack here is actually an honorable mention because Jack's Heat Smash is 10 frames fast, and if you didn't know, Heat Smash can be performed out of Crouch. So to give you an example of what Jack can do at plus 11 from Crouch, we have this explodable wall behind Leo, and let's see if I can do this first try. Okay, so pretty good, but like I said, only in heat, so I figured that was a good honorable mention. So let's move on to number 5. Okay, at number 5, I've got Lee, and I did clarify at the beginning of this video that it was subjective because this is kind of a troll pick. But Lee gets wall standing 3-3, and then you can hold down and keep spamming 3, and you can even stop holding down in the middle and it'll switch to mid kicks. But it's not true. The bot actually blocked it automatically, but usually what happens is this. Oh my gosh. Usually what happens is this. You can see he's got 155 health left, so 45 damage. If that isn't what happens, then they can block it and launch you, or they can low parry. It's really not very good. But just in my experience, I have Lee at Tekken King, and it almost always is 45 damage. And not to mention, if they're at the wall, a lot of people just can't deal with this. Like I said, you can switch it to mid-highs. Just super annoying, pretty funny. I like it a lot. But moving on. So at number 4, I've got Heihachi. And Heihachi has this double axe kick, which is good damage and 0 on hit, but if you hold down afterwards, you go into Fujin stance at +6. And this just feels really nice. It looks really cool. He's got that launching mid, which frame traps and is only -10 if he's wrong. You have also got this homing grab to kind of cover your options. That one is slower, so they can interrupt it. But they shouldn't, because they should be afraid of this. He can also go into his Wind God step. He can do, a low. It's a decent stance. And I just like the way this feels. I think it's one of my favorite parts about Heihachi. So yeah, moving on to number 3, who might be similar. Okay, next up we've got Reina at number 3. Who is obviously the successor to Heihachi, so she's got kind of the same thing. She gets +6 into her Heaven's Wrath stance, which I prefer to Heihachi's Fujin stance for a couple different reasons, but there are a lot of shared elements. She's got this frame trapping mid that heat engages instead of launches, but it's safe with a lot of pushback. She has the same kind of homing grab. This one actually does frame trap unless they down jab. But assuming they're respecting, you've also got this kick, which is 0 and puts them in crouch, which is really nice on block. And you've also got this move, which I really like. Not just for the follow-up, but also because you can cancel the first hit into either her Unsoku stance or her Sentai stance. I really like the way that Reina shifts between stances, and this is a really good way to kind of start your pressure. Same thing as Heihachi, it just feels so good to get this going. And yeah, just be pressuring your opponent like that. Obviously you want to keep them scared, so this is like a tried and true thing. This frame trap. But yeah, this just feels really nice. And Rin is awesome. Not too much more to say about that. Am I missing? Oh yeah, she's got this, which is really plus back into the stance. Okay, there's a lot of ways to kind of cycle pressure. A lot of ways to be creative just off of being +6 into Heaven's Wrath. So, and same thing with Heihachi as well. She can go into her her God Step and do a Hell Sweep or an Electric or whatever you want. So on to number 2. Okay, number 2, we have Leo. So yeah, in a Leo Ditto, be looking for the back 2/1+2 because Leo's 11th frame is a Heat Engager, which is so nice to be able to do off of basically any low in the game. Yeah, I mean it's +9. It puts you in a heat, gives you install. What more can you really say? It's a very unique property. I think Dragunov has a 12 frame one, but 11 frame is all Leo. Obviously, if Leo is in heat, then they get even more damage off of a heat dash. I'm not sure if that's the optimal follow-up, but yeah, you can get around 40 plus damage. Yeah, not too much to say about this one. It's a Heat Engager. It's an 11 frame Heat Engager from Crouch. It is great. In first place, it's June. And June's Wall Standing 4 is not that crazy. It does knock down, which is pretty cool. It's unique. It gives her Oki. But June is actually in this spot because of her 10 frame Crouching Punish, which is full crouch down forward 1. Which, as you can see, did 36 damage with some self damage, but mostly recoverable. But I think that's the most damage you can get off of an 11 frame punish without heat. And that's, you know, I haven't even gotten started, but that already probably is the best 11 frame punish, just like this. But let's say Leo's back is to the wall, and in that case, we actually get a full wall combo, and June has a strong one. So 83 damage, and did you notice like how far they flew? So even if their back isn't right to the wall, let's say like a few paces this way, 3, like you can't even see the wall. That is a splat and a full combo. And I'm also not mentioning her install, which buffs her beam moves, which buffs this combo. So that's 90. That's 90 off of a 10 frame punish from Crouch, which is great. That's she wins. June wins. So that's gonna be my video. First shot at like a structured kind of a video. I haven't really seen anything like this for this game, but I've always kind of wanted one. So I don't know. If you're watching this, maybe let me know what you think. I don't know. See you later.